Tam Chuc Pagoda is located in Ba Sa Town, Khai Phong Commune, Kim Bang District, Hà Nam Province, is one of the most massive spiritual tourist areas in Vietnam. About 60 kilometers from the center of Hanoi, and about 14 kilometers from Phu Lai City. This relic site spreads over an area of 500 Hz, bringing a majestic space combining rivers, water, mountains, and clouds. Creating an attractive destination for tourists invested by Xuan Trung Enterprise of Mr. Nguyen Van Trung, with a total cost of up to 11,000 billion VND. Tam Chuc Pagoda is not only a spiritual work, but also plays an important role in developing regional tourism. In addition to the majestic natural beauty, many people are also curious about the current abbot of the pagoda. His Majesty Thich Van Nhu, real name Vu Duc Chin, born in 1952, is currently taking on the role of abbot. He is also the permanent vice president of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha Executive Council, a person of great prestige in the Buddhist community nationwide. Tam Chuc Pagoda is associated with the unique legend of 6 mountains in front and 7 stars behind, a mysterious story that has been passed down through many generations. According to legend, during the Dinh dynasty, when the first pagoda was built more than 1,000 years ago, on the top of the mountain in the Three Chuc region, there were 7 bright stars considered to be the incarnations of 7 fairies who descended to earth. The police here were so fascinated that the fairies were so engrossed in playing that the heavens had to send people down to call them back 6 times, but all failed. Finally, the heavens left behind 6 symbolic bells that transformed into 6 islands floating on the lake surface called Luc Nac, while the 7 mountains were known as 7 Tin. Some time later, a villager went up to the 7-star mountain to get firewood and accidentally caused a big fire. The fire caused 4 of the 7 stars to fade, leaving only 3 shining stars. Since then, the pagoda in the 3-star village has been called the 3-star pagoda, associated with a fascinating mythological story. The 3-star pagoda not only stands out for its profound spiritual value, but also impresses with its prime location amidst the majestic mountain landscape and poetic lake. In the Tam Chuc Pagoda complex, there are many attractive tourist attractions, each with its own unique characteristics. The first point, visitors to Tam Chuc will see the Tu Dinh guest house. Before entering the pagoda, you can choose to buy a ticket to visit the pagoda by boat or by electric car. Tickets are sold here. The price of the electric car ticket is about 60,000 VND. When entering, visitors will admire a quiet and solemn space. On the wall are paintings of Tam Chuc Pagoda. Each painting has LED lights, extremely eye-catching. This is also a check-in place. For many visitors to the house, you will be welcomed by a cruise or electric car. The destination is the Tam Quan Gate. This place is like a wall combined with meticulous carvings with 3 paths. According to Vietnamese architecture, there are 3 meanings of the Tam Quan Gate. According to the Buddhist perspective, the main gate and the middle gate on both sides of the Tam Quan are 2 large roads for you to move up to the main hall of the pagoda. There are many beautiful check-in corners here. Just raise your camera, and you will have a photo for life. From the Tam Quan Gate to Quanam Temple, visitors will pass through 32 sutra pillars, also known as the Sutra Pillar Garden. Inspired by the national treasure of the first pillar pagoda in the ancient capital of Hoa Lu Ninh Bin, but at 3 sutra pillars are rebuilt with no less scale. Each pillar will weigh about 200 tons. Made of green stone, below will be designed like a blooming lotus. The column body has a hexagonal shape. On the body will be carefully hand-carved about the Buddha's teachings. The column will be attached with a lotus bud, creating another wonderful work. Another prominent destination of the 3-way pagoda is the Tam the Temple, a majestic structure located at an altitude of 45 m above sea level. This is the largest building in the pagoda complex, standing out with a large wooden door carved elaborately in front of the temple, where there are 3 statues of the 3 worlds representing the past, present and future, symbolizing reincarnation and the Buddhist philosophy of life. Inside the temple, there is a large space with a floor area of 5,400 square meters, a height of 39 m, and a wide basement of 2,200 square meters, enough to accommodate about 5,000 Buddhists to participate in festivals and spiritual activities. On the walls, the Dharma wheel painting on the left shows all 6 realms of reincarnation. According to Buddhist philosophy, the heavenly realm, the divine realm, the human realm, the animal realm, the hungry ghost realm and the realm Hell in the center is the image of the 3 soi fire symbolizing the message to stay away from greed, anger, and ignorance. The things that cause world spirituality. Besides, at the meeting on October 5, 2028, Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Phuc agreed to let Hà Nam coordinate with localities to prepare a dossier to request UNESCO to recognize the Tam Chuc complex Hà Nam Hung Pagoda Hanoi Van Long Ninh Bai NH and Dong Tam Hoa Bin as World Cultural and Natural Heritage. The Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism has assigned the task of researching and proposing. According to the law, This event not only honors the spiritual and cultural values of Tam Chuc Pagoda, but also opens up opportunities to promote and preserve Vietnamese heritage on a global scale. Although Tam Chuc Pagoda is one of the largest spiritual projects in Vietnam, attracting millions of tourists each year, the pagoda is currently causing a lot of controversy because of the shortcomings in implementation and management. Many experts believe that allocating thousands of hectares of land for a project like this is considered by many to be a waste, especially when the country still lacks schools, hospitals and social housing. Besides, some experts say that this is not only a spiritual project that also contain the purpose of resort and real estate business of Xuan Trung Enterprise. Although it claims not to use the state budget, in fact, most of the costs of site clearance and infrastructure construction come from people's tax money. In addition, many opinions also believe that giant spiritual projects are running according to grandiose ostentation instead of focusing on practical values. This group expressed the view that the massive development of projects such as Tam Chuc Pagoda not only puts pressure on the budget, but also raises concerns about negative impacts on the landscape and environment in the context of limited national resources. These projects need to be considered to ensure that they do not go against the common interests of society. What do you think when you hear all the information about Tam Chuc Pagoda in Ha Nam, the largest pagoda in the world to date?